Okay, welcome to the first safe space of the week. And as you're coming into the safe space here, please feel free to pick up some fingerprints. We've got crayons in the corner. We've got a ball pit if you want to chill out in there. And of course, we've got basket weaving just up the back of the safe space. Yes, everyone catered for here. Nice and inclusive. Remember now, no shouting, no clapping under any circumstances, and jazz hands at all times. Uni rock in the safe space. Now, Uni, I want you to play nice in the safe space. We don't go into that whole shape of the playing field in the safe space, Uni. No. We don't do that here. Don't trigger people, man. Great to see you here, bro. Yes, so as much as I would love to sit there all day and play around with the music and just chill out and relax and have a couple of bad boys and fall asleep before the show, you know, that kind of thing. I suppose we better get into it. So a big warm welcome to everyone tuning in today. I'm still setting things up here. Yeah, I'm a bit behind. My Facebook can get to hell. My Photoshop went on the fritz earlier on. I was absolutely lost. I had to uninstall it, reinstall it. I know it only took about 5 minutes, but it put me all wrong, okay? So that's why we're a little bitty later today with our safe space. But like I say, feel free to participate in the finger paint and the crayons and all the good stuff that we have here to take your mind off that crazy world. And man, oh man, have we got some evidence of it getting ever crazier today. You would not believe some of the stuff that I've got pulled up here. And they say, you know, they talk about staring into the abyss, and the abyss stares back. Well, when you stare into the techno-abyss, it doesn't just stare back. It literally grabs you and turns you into something completely different. And of course, being in the UK, we take things to the extreme, right? And we are so inclusive. We think of everybody out there, and by the time we get into some of the stuff today, you'll see exactly what I mean. It's if you ever doubted that we're living in the movie Idiocracy, then I reckon maybe the next half hour or so I'll ask you again, and you might have changed your mind. But before we get going, let's dive into the chat room. See all you cool people in there. We've got Billy Joe, you made it on time. I remember to link you. We've got Matt, Lothar. Yes, Lothar, our 33rd degree Freemason. I'm only joking, Lothar. I'm only joking, but I do picture you listening to the show in some like darkened room, black and white checker floor. You know what I'm talking about, dude. Lothar, I love that you come in here. We can have this little bit of shtick together. It's cool. We've got Tessa, Valley Parks in there, One Polly, Denny, Scowling Wolf. That's a new name. So we've got Legend Real. That's the the local. He's in the East End of Glasgow. We've got Queen Goddess. Armand, another Scotsman in there. Good to see you. Tiffany Bill U. Yeah, I like that. I like that one. And we have got Austin. Good to see you again, Austin. Who else? Jason. Jason, our potential new star of the ghost hunting genre. Getting into all that paranormal activity, as you do. Can't wait to see you getting into some of that. Our man from Norway, Sidvich, hanging out in there. Taking time out from his PlayStation network to come and chill and finger paint and do the old jazz hands and things over here in the safe space. So we're cool with that, right? We like that. Kristen, of course, Kristen is in there causing mayhem as usual. Kristen, come on, man. You got to calm down. You got to calm down. And I heard a nasty rumor that Kristen is dealing with some climate change propaganda. Did I say that? We've got Austin Thompson in there. I think, is that a different Austin or is it the same one? Now I'm confused. And you all know me. I am easily confused. Brian, good to see you in there, man. Gordon, scrolling up. The Unirock, yes, indeedy. Where else are we? In Uni, I'll hit you up soon, man. I've just been like really kind of diving deep into this whole live streaming. Used to think to myself, how the hell does Unirock do it? How does he do it? Day after day, hour after hour. Now I get it, man. Now I get it. I get it, Uni. I've got the bug. Susie. Yes, our good friend Susie from Wales, who provided us with some absolutely dynamite grade A woo yesterday for the members stream. And next week, folks, it's going to be a members only stream. Yes, there'll be no lurkers on the outside. None of these people just looking in, watching what we're doing. We're going full members only next Sunday, and we'll have it earlier in the day this time. We'll go for a different time again. We'll try and get some of the Australians in there. So, yeah, looking forward to that. No idea what I'm going to be talking about. That's the way the kind of weekend members-only streams work. We've got Gradient. And he says, this music makes you want to drive a convertible on the coast. Excellent. See? It's all jamming here. Aunt Nanny Granny, good to see you. Scrolling up again. And we've got Var Don Guerro. Yes, another one that is very much into the paranormal woo. So if I've missed anyone out, I see D-Nice, Mojo, a few others. King Sweet, of course, our man that loves the royal family. We've got hot retard chicks. Yes, indeedy. And what's happened to Renzo? I've seen somebody saying Renzo had like fallen asleep for 3 days. What if, right? What if? Because I watched some of Renzo's streams. She was really like into deep quantum woo. What if she's been like a time traveler and she's gone back to her own time zone now? See, you hadn't thought of that. None of you had thought that could be an explanation as to where she's gone. Not saying it is, but it's good woo, right? It's good speculation, good sci-fi stuff. I tell you what, it's like living in a sci-fi movie now, right? Because some of the stories I've got here, and as I was titling the video as well, staring into the kind of techno-abyss, it's going to really make you wonder what on earth's going on. And not only that, but the way that governments and local authorities are reacting to the idiocracy world that we live in now as well. And of course, they're helping to build out this infrastructure for the idiocracy we now live in, which of course is populated by a vast number of, well, if you're in idiocracy, perhaps idiots, I'm not sure. But first story here, and this comes from the Discord server. And folks, if you're not over on the KBS Discord, all you got to do is hit me up at KBS Discord at protonmail.com. Give me your YouTube name. That way I know who I'm talking to. Can give you different privilege, different settings in the Discord. And today's first story comes from the Discord server. And it's thanks to, I believe, Kenny. Now, there's some headlines that I read where I kind of like shake my head and I think, did I honestly just see that? And then I have to read them again. And of course, safe space rules apply. I have not read the article. I've just seen the headline and we'll dive into it raw. First time, right? Like we do on here. So you ready? And once you've seen this, you can't unsee it. And again, I ask you, is this evidence that we're living in like a real life, altered reality version of idiocracy? Manchester opens UK's first slow lane, not for traffic, but for people looking at their phones while walking. Yes, and as it says here, have we slipped too far into the techno-obsessed abyss? I'm not making this up. This comes from the Mirror in the UK. Again, people always on their phones. We talk about it time and time again. You can go out for a meal. You see a lovely young couple sitting in the corner, obviously on one of their first dates. And instead of the old school way of sitting having a conversation and things, they're staring at their phones. Maybe they'll be talking back and forth, but no eye contact. They'll be scrolling away. And now in the UK, the land of the inclusive, as opposed to saying, how about just putting your phone away and looking where you're going when you're walking down the pavement or the sidewalk, as you say in the US? No, what we do is we actually pander to these idiots from Idiocracy and we build them a slow lane to walk in. That's what I'm taking from the headline, right? And we've all seen it. I haven't seen it yet where you're walking down the road and somebody literally bangs into something. I pray I get that one day. Obviously, there's no way you'll capture that on film, because why would you just be filming random people walking down the street, right? That'd be creepy and make you no better than the people that are walking slowly. But to see that. To see somebody just poof. Nothing too like violent or anything. I don't want anybody getting hurt. But just to see them walking into something. And I bet you the first thing they would do is make sure their phone's okay. Innit? I'm right. You know it. So let's see what it says here. There's one of these geniuses here, yes. No need for you to worry about bumping into anyone, sir. All of you little drones are in the same zone. So it says it's pretty hard to pull yourself away from your mobile phone nowadays. Can be, not always though. And one time you really shouldn't be looking at your phone is when you're out walking down the road, just for safety's sake. And in case there's people like me about that's going to absolutely, observe you to the point where I make shows about you. You get it? You always got to be wary of that. There's podcasters everywhere. We're lurking around every corner. And you're thinking, but Kev, you've got a mobile phone. I'm hoping that you can't see it on the camera, but you can. So I'll put mine over there as well, right? I'll practice what I preach. Keep it out the way. But yeah, it says, and with a world of information at your fingertips, not to mention all of your mates, it's not difficult to understand why that is. Many of us are so glued to our mobile devices that a whopping 75% of Brits say that they are guilty of walking and using their phone at the same time. And that's according to new research. 75% of Brits. The other 25% were too busy to answer the question. Why? Because they were scrolling down their phones. I'm only joking. So it says, this research suggests that many of the 38% have had an awkward encounter where they bumped into someone who apologised. And an unfortunate 27% of us have bumped into someone looking at a phone who didn't apologise. So, wait a minute. They're so phased out looking at their phone, but they bump into people. And as opposed to, apologising or making sure the other person's okay, they just kind of bounce off and keep on going. There's nothing zombie-like with that, right? And on the day that the new Walking Dead, we've just had the new season starting, I had to get a zombie reference in somewhere. So we're techno-zombies. We've actually got, that's it, we've got lanes in the UK for the extras out of the Walking Dead. That's what it's like. There he is, like, okay, he hasn't got the makeup on yet, but he's got that whole kind of gait about him. I see it. I can see it happening now. Just wait till the 5G comes, folks. I'm only kidding. And now it seems we've slipped so far into the technology-obsessed abyss that the UK's first slow lanes for people looking at their phones while walking have opened in Manchester. See, I've been to Manchester, right? Manchester's in the north of England, and usually the further north you come, the more human these people are. I'm only joking, no. Usually the more robust, more, I don't know, kind of, they get better, right? And I wouldn't have thought Manchester would have been the place for this to roll out. I would have thought more somewhere like maybe Brighton or, I don't know, Weston-super-Mare. Or, of course, the obvious, London, right? The most surveilled city in the world. You'd think they'll pander to the techno-obsessed there. But no, Manchester has got it. And it says the two adjacent 75-metre long mobile phone safe lanes. Oh, what genius came up with this idea. Think of the money they've spent, right? They've had like crews going out and painting this on taxpayers' money. And of course, if you're just like any other ordinary human being and the way we've always been, now you've got to make sure you don't like wander in to like the slow techno lane. Idiocracy, anyone? See what I mean? We're only like not even half an hour in, but you can tell we're getting there, right? So it's now hoped that the designated pathway for pedestrians will stop people who walk with their eyes glued to their mobile phones from bumping into each other. Could we not just have like a sign at one end of like the high street saying, "Oi, look up," and obviously like have audibles as well, because I get it, it's a sign, they're not going to look. And in fact, are any of these techno gazing, scrying individuals even going to see that there's a zone for them? Maybe they'll be too oblivious. Remember, they just bounce off people and things. Tell you, this is the Walking Dead we're dealing with here, folks. It really is. And there's a serious side to all of this as well, you know. There is a serious side. It's now hoped that the designated pathway for pedestrians, all right, I've done that bit, the pavement along Hardman Boulevard. Does anyone see the irony in that? Hardman Boulevard. Yeah, absolutely full of hard men. They're so hard that they need a designated area to walk through because they can't be bothered looking at where they're going. Real hard men. So a busy pedestrian thoroughfare surrounded by offices, shops, bars, and restaurants, and dare I say it, sprayed with the occasional soy, used by tens of thousands of people every week, now has arrows and signs that mark out separate walking lanes. Oh, come on. What the hell? Where are we living? What time is this? This is 2019. I thought we were meant to be advancing, not going backwards. And see that picture, the famous one, the evolution of man, and you see them like, first of all, they're crouched over and eventually we're walking upright. We're going backwards again because now we're back into the stooped mode. You know the picture I mean, right? Hang on, I'll bring it up here. You'll know as soon as I mean it. Evolution of man, images. This here, look. So, you get the old monkey there. We start to get bimble on the 2 feet, progress a bit more, bit of tools on the way. There we go, right? Our current form. But now, well, there's one option. We could have gone that way, but actually, we're not, because there must be one here. There it is. Look, there's where we're going. The head's starting to go down again. It's a really, really rudimentary way of showing you what I'm talking about here. We're not advancing. We're going back the way. The more and more our technology advances, as opposed to us advancing along with it, we're going back the way. It's taking over more and more of our thinking, more of our computing. And what happens 50 years from now? Are we back there? Maybe that's why, guys out there, you'll appreciate this. As you get older, why in hell's name does your body like start growing hair everywhere? It's coming out your ears, it's coming out your nostrils, not on the palms of my hands, folks. And of course, we've been dealing with a hairy hand dude over on the paranormal shows lately. So what is it? Does our bodies appreciate that very soon we're going back to being like hairy apes walking over, No need for slow lanes then, literally. I don't know. I'm just saying. So we go back to this and it says, done that bit. Richard Baxendale, managing director of AO Mobile, said, "We have to be realistic and responsible when it comes to the way that society is changing. Or we could look at it and go, enough, just enough. Can we just like make some kind of agreement that unless like somebody's phoned you or there's something really urgent, you don't need to be scrolling down Facebook for your dopamine hit in between like A and B or going A to C or wherever you're going. And that there is a big part of this. And that's one of the more serious aspects of it, isn't it? Because not only do they encourage this fall, this slipping into the techno-abyss, not only do they encourage us to stay looking at our phones when we're out walking between A and B, going between shop and pub or home or work or wherever you're going, but in fact, they want you to still be looking at your screen. They're encouraging it because they want it. Why? Because they're desperate for us all to become more and more dopamine dependent. And that sounds outrageous. But I tell you what, if every time you're scrolling down Facebook and you get that warm fuzzy feeling because all of a sudden one of your posts has had like 10 times the likes that you usually get, or maybe it's on Twitter, and I've felt it here on YouTube, folks. I was talking to Scotty Lopez about this last night back in the day when we were covering the election, the Scottish referendum, and we had the video of one of the counters putting the votes from yes into no piles and vice versa and skewing the vote, right? That video got nearly 1 million hits. And if Uni's still in here, he'll know what I'm talking about. He's had big videos as well. You're refreshing the page and you're seeing your view count going up by thousands. And folks, I wasn't monetized at that point. There was no monetary gain, but I can absolutely appreciate that the main line that gave for the dopamine to get right to where it needs to. And man, it's addictive. It is. I get that. And I was even saying to Scott, you know, when that initial kind of viral nature that the video was taking on, once it started to tail off and it was coming down the other end, you could actually notice it because, say, you went down from like refreshing and getting 1,000 views to 500 views, down to 200 views when you refreshed. It was almost like an anticlimax. And you're looking for that buzz again, that buzz that you had when it was really flying. And that ties in with all of this, folks. Ties in with all of it. You know, people are quite literally at the point now where they can't go between A and B without at least trying to kind of satisfy that need, that thirst, that urge, that subconscious craving that we've got for dopamine, but not only that, for, you know, acceptance and recognition by our digital peers in this idiocracy society. Dang, now I'm slipping into some crazy stuff. Maybe I need to lay off those herbal companions that I don't smoke when I'm on the show, folks. I don't. So it says our research found... I'm surprised you can find people that have like got enough time to research. You know what I'm saying? They're all too busy on their phones and watching the safe space. So it says our research found Brits being distracted by technology when walking is becoming an issue. People want tackled. Okay, they want it tackled. They don't want you to encourage it and, in fact, you know, make the problem worse. As opposed to solving anything here, it's like giving drugs to the addict. It's like offering them, you know, an extra hit. It's not saying, no, you know, you really shouldn't be doing this. You know, you should really be thinking about what you're doing. You're walking in public. You know, you're not worried about bumping into things. No. We can't do that. Roll up your sleeves, you know, look down, take your hit. Oh. Yep. The more you stare into the techno-abyss, the bigger chance there is of becoming a techno junkie. So it says, our trial slow lane is an important first step. Should that be an important slow step or safe step that may well be adopted by other cities in the future? It's coming. It's coming, folks, to every city. I guarantee it. I'm going to keep an eye on this, but it's not like a prophecy, okay? I'm not making big predictions. Well, it's a prediction, but it's not hard. Living in the UK's first smart city, you can bet your bottom dollar there's going to be some genius down at Glasgow City Council right now going, oh, look what Manchester are doing. Yes, that's what we'll do. We'll get everyone little mobile phone lanes, indeed. Well, trust me, if you're in Glasgow and you think you're going to be any or given any level of safety in that like mobile walking zone, Just get ready for some of the youngsters in Glasgow, like pushing you when you're not looking and things. That's the way we roll here. It's not going to be safe. In fact, you'd probably be safer, again, putting your phone in your pocket and not openly being one of the techno walking dead. So, yes, what do you make of that one, folks? I'm going to go into the chat room, see what's happening, see what you make of AO mobile phone lane. And look, they even show them the footprints on a phone. Is it April the 1st? Is that what it is? Surely it's got to be, right? This is insane. Totally insane. I really, really urge Glasgow City Council in particular, if you are going to be adopting the mobile phone lane, could we make sure you don't line it with traffic cones? I'm just saying. Is it me? Am I turning into one of these, like, grumpy old men? Mobile phone lanes. Back in my day. I'm not turning into that, am I? I swore I would never turn into that, dude. Wait a minute, I need to go and check my phone, see what it tells me. Am I turning into that, dude? But of course, right here on the Kev Baker Show, I don't just get into news and silliness. We have this thing where we offer the KBS love advice. And if there is anyone out there who's stumbled across this show when I shared it out on Twitter and on Facebook, how ironic if somebody walking down the Manchester safe space clicked on us, finding us in the slow lane, right? But a word of caution, ladies and gentlemen. And this next story is very gender specific, and I apologize for that, because you know I like to be inclusive and all. But there's a real kind of dangerous side effect, perhaps, that maybe not enough people are aware of. And could it be that it might explain a lot of what's going on in the world today? Oh, I need to go and compose myself before I laugh. Get ready for this. Couldn't make it up. Shouldn't make it up. And when did this even become a thing? Well, let's see what you crazy chatters are saying out there. Turn this down a little bit, see what you're saying before we get to the next. Quite ridiculous story, but it's good. That's what we do in the safe space. Get some new finger paints ready. We're going to be switching gears, sort of, in a moment. Let's see what people are saying. Somebody happily married, good stuff. Kev is on his way to the walking zone. Oh, absolutely. Traffic cones in the walking zone. There's a song in there somewhere, right? Can anyone name one transitional species on Earth today? No, evolution is a nonsensical theory. And that is absolutely a valid opinion, Mr. King. And who would I be to contest with you? Like I always say, do we even know anything? I must admit, I do find some of the jumps in evolution and that a bit hard to go with. But hey, I wasn't here all of those billions of years ago when we may have been an amoeba, you know, in that primordial soup. And then we took a little bit of a shift here, shift there, and bada bing, bada boom, before you know it, Homo sapiens in the room and walking down the safe space lane. Who knows? Yep. And what else we got in here? I'd have said that about anyone who knocked on my door today. Yep. And probably missed something there. Okay, right. Let's get ready to move on. Right, let's get ready to move on. I'll spend time in the chat room, and remember, folks, do me a big huge favor and tag me up. Get the whole kind of orange name thing going at the Kev Baker Show, just like VAR done. It says Loftus Hall in Ireland. They say the devil himself slept in that house. Also impregnated the daughter of the owners of the castle. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Are you throwing me down another paranormal portal, dude? Mr. VAR. Hang on, I'm going to bring it up. I'll open a tab with that. I'll keep it right here. And yeah, we'll take a little look at that before we go today. How's that? But as I was saying, perhaps there's one health warning that none of us were ever given when we started partaking and indulging in our addictions to the mobile phone. And, you know, some people, if they're epileptic, you know, staring at the screen, the flashing images, that can be very harmful. Just staring at a screen so close to your face in such high definition, bright light, that can be harmful. We know all about that. The blue light aspect, if you haven't heard about that, well worth checking into. That's where it basically tricks your brain into thinking it's daytime. And really, that's why we shouldn't be using our phones at night. I said shouldn't be. I'm a hypocrite because I do. But one warning it doesn't come with is that overuse of a particular phone may affect your sexuality. I'm not making it up. I'm not. You know, I don't need to make things up. We're in idiocracy. Don't believe me yet? Try that one. So a man sues Apple because his iPhone turned him gay. iPhone goes further away. It's going to get further away as this show goes on, right? I can tell you after years of using an iPhone, I am still happily the way I used to be. And listen, this isn't knocking anyone's sexual choices, anything like that. You know my attitude. If you're an adult and you can find somebody that's consenting, you go get your rocks off. Have at it. Do whatever you like. Go for it, okay? Nobody's getting hurt. Everybody's happy. Love you long time. $5, no $5, $500. I don't care. But like I say, people best be aware because maybe your iPhone is turning you, hey, hey, hey. Yep, I'm not joking. So it says here, a man in Russia. It had to be the Russians, didn't it? Anything to have a go at Russia. Wait till I speak to Vlad about this. Has launched a lawsuit against Apple after he alleged that his phone turned him, hey, hey, hey. So, Razumilov wants 1 million rubles, and that equates to 16,500 large over in the UK here. Oh, that would be nice, indeed. What you could do is 16.5 large. Although I don't think taking Apple to court is the way to go about it. After he was given 69 gay coins of cryptocurrency instead of Bitcoin that he had been expecting. So the money came with the message in English, don't judge without trying. Love it. He did what he was told. He tried it. And now, guess what? He liked it that much. He's in a relationship. So he wrote in court papers, I thought indeed, how can I judge something without trying it? Well, hang on now. So let me just follow this logical thinking of yours, Mr. Russian man. Does that mean then, if you hear about a heinous act of violence or murder or something like that, does that mean you shouldn't really hate on that person or shouldn't judge them? At least until you've tried it yourself, right? Try before you buy. Try before you condemn. I'm not sure this is really a sane way of thinking, but he decided to try same-sex relationships. And again, I'm not knocking it. Not knocking it. Anyone getting the feeling that, like, this guy's just, like, looking for an excuse? Talk about in the closet. This guy's, like, in his techno closet, right? It's not me. It's my phone's fault. Just embrace it, big man. I know Putin doesn't really agree with that lifestyle choice, but just embrace it. Just come and have a hug. Just as long as it's just a hug. Put your iPhone away from me. I can say that after the passage of 2 months that I mired in intimacy with a member of my own sex and can't get out. I have a steady boyfriend and I don't know how to explain it to my parents. So one day when I was sitting on the crapper, I thought, I've got it. If I just say, Dad, Mum, it's not really my fault. It's that, pesky Apple phone of mine. If it wasn't for my phone, none of this would have happened. Maybe you should be thanking your iPhone. If you honestly believe your iPhone turned you that way and you're happy now, you found a partner, hey, don't knock it. Embrace it. It's very few of us actually find somebody, our life partner, to keep us, to be our companion in this crazy matrix. And if you got it through your iPhone, even if it is something that, part of you really doesn't want to embrace, listen, big man, just chill out and enjoy it. Just get on with it. In fact, write to Apple and say thank you. This is like a marketing kind of tool or avenue that Apple really should kind of chase, right? I mean, being in Silicon Valley and all the rest of it, you would think they would actually make the most of this kind of opportunity, knowing that their phone has these magical powers. Who knew? Who knew? So it says here, after receiving the aforementioned message, my life has changed for the worse and will never be normal again. Now, how can your life be worse if you've met somebody that, and despite what anyone's own personal beliefs and preferences are, don't judge anyone. He's found somebody he's happy with. Is it really that much of a stigma? Is it in Russia? I laugh and I joke about being like the Kremlin's agent. We know it's just a bit of shtick, a bit of fun. But is it really that harsh? Is it? Because if it is, that's never good. That's never good. So it says here, Razumilov has accused Apple of manipulatively pushing me towards homosexuality since sending him the gay coins in 2017 and was suing them because of moral suffering and harm to mental health. Now, the app was created by a third party, but he believes Apple has a responsibility for programs that they host. Do you think maybe it might have something to do with the apps that you download? Do you think you might have like some personal responsibility attached? Just saying. I'm just saying, it's not like these apps install themselves, and I'm sorry, but you're the first person I've heard of that had like any kind of transaction expecting bitcoins and got sent hey coins. Okay? I don't know. So his lawyer, really funny name, said that her client is scared and the case is serious. It will be heard in court in Moscow on October the 17th. Maybe this guy's like been cut out of the father or the family will or something, and he's really come up with the worst excuse ever for why he's like gone down this road. I just think he should just go with it. Be what you want to be, I say. Whatever makes you happy. We're only here for a blink of an eye, folks. And like I say, don't give two shits what anyone else thinks about you. All right? I know I have a laugh and a joke and all the rest of it, but at the end of the day, it's just shocking that in 2019, somebody feels the need to come up with a ridiculous excuse like this for why they are the way they are. So what? Let whoever it is that's judging you deal with it. Maybe they're being affected by iPhones or something. All right? Like I say, consenting adults, have at it. Men, women, traffic cones, you get it, you feel it. Even the odd occasional pair of trainers, as we found out recently on the show. And no, I'm not joking, folks. There are people that have sexual relations with trainers. It's a thing. I can't help it. Don't blame me. Don't hate the messenger, as they say, all right? That's what it is. That's what it is. Somebody in the chat room has hit it. He needs to adjust his court case. It's actually the vibrate mode that done this to him. You know, we were talking last night on the safe space about the headlines that were coming out regarding Gandalf and the fact that maybe it's time for a woman to play Gandalf. Well, can we like find some like middle ground, please, between like my toxic side and that new woke side? And can we just have Gandalf with an iPhone, and that way it'll make him like, hey, 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 Gandalf. Hashtag save our Gandalf. Now I feel really bad for having a laugh and a joke, because I see in the chat room one of our friends here. Let me see, Raleigh. She's lost somebody. My Gidget has passed away. She was my bud. Yeah, she was my cat. Very special feline. Oh, Raleigh, I totally feel for you. I do. I'm a cat guy. My Susie's, 18 years old, and I dread the day. So a lot of love to you, Raleigh, and I hope the chat room will help to pick you up and certainly not help you get over it. You know, pets are like family members, really are, and we do get so close to them. You're even making me want to have a wee cry now. That's terrible. So yeah, I do feel for you, Raleigh, big time, and apologies. Probably, inappropriate joking when somebody's got that going in the chat room, but it's great to see you here, and I hope some of the finger paints and the crayons, and if all else fails, we'll all do jazz hands together and we'll all feel happy. Okay, so it's good to have you here, Raleigh, and let's see what else we've got here, because we've got the whole thing going on with the slow lanes in Manchester for people walking about with their mobile phones. You've seen them, folks. Oh, you've seen them. Oh, and I've got a message from somebody here. Let's see. People trolling me. Always good when people are trolling you, right? But, so that people control on the move, they've made these lanes in Manchester, like we were talking about. Not making this up. It's a serious story. They literally got now a designated area for people on their phones so they don't bump into each other. So they don't bump into normal people who go about their business in a normal fashion, like this gentleman over here, or these people here that are able to look up. They haven't lost the muscles in their neck yet. They haven't quite gone back the way towards, what we may or may not have come from. But it's going to get even worse soon. You know why? Because these people are literally going to be tuned to another world when they're walking down the very same street we are. We could be walking just in this little bit of the safe zone, the good zone, right? Old school. Pedestrians. Not these like half paralyzed ones that are with a head down and things in their trance. But as we're walking side by side in tandem with them, think of the fact that not only are they going to be looking down soon, they will be looking up, but what they see around them is going to be an entirely world from what we see around us. Because we're moving into the age now of where augmented reality and all of the virtual reality stuff, that too is rolling out at breakneck speed. Now, we know where all of this is going, folks, and David Icke, who I often quote and tell people to check out, he says it best, and I'll keep on saying this because it's really, really good advice. And then it really does help make sense of what's going on, because if you know the outcome, then you can see the journey. And they want us addicted to the technology and everything else because there's a handful of futurists out there that 50 years down the line, them in Silicon Valley, not even 50 years, that's ridiculous, 10 years down the line, they literally want all of us to give up our thinking power and hand it over to the AI. Now, David was talking about this just recently. I urge you all to go and check out his channel here on YouTube. You can hear him talking about all of that instead of me just parroting the bullet points. But this here, the walking lanes, full body avatars, virtual reality, it is all little road markers on our way to that full blown, call it what you will, matrix, the upside down, hive mind. The hive mind's the best way of thinking about it. Although, when you think of a hive mind, it makes you think of people thinking together and pulling on that combined processing power, whereas really, in reality, all of the thinking will be done for us. And that's why we see all this push for 5G as well. And I don't get into the potential kind of health hazards associated to that. There's people out there who are far more well versed than me on that kind of thing. I bring guests onto the show that talk about that kind of stuff. But again, know the outcome, see the journey. And this 5G, this is a big, big part of it. Not just so that we can watch our movies, flawlessly while we're walking with our heads down. That's one way, right? You don't even have to stop watching your movie now. You get straight off the bus, you'll go into a designated walking lane. No need to stop, no need to look up, literally between A and B. But it's for the machines around us to communicate back to the AI that eventually they would like us all to be plugged into. Now, I still remain very optimistic. I don't go full doom and gloom at this point, and we've all got our free will. And we've got Elon Musk next year, less than a year now. We'll have the neural link, people literally plugging in to the network, into the matrix, into the internet, having the internet in your head. And if you just even look at the way we've progressed in the last 5 years or so with the Internet of Things, everything's smart, you can start to appreciate where the ultimate destination is. This fully AI controlled society, infrastructure, everything controlled by that. All seeing, all being, all dancing, omnipresent, always on, listening to 7.5 billion of us all at once. Right there, instantly, the AI. I know it sounds sci-fi, but think about it. And look at everything around the world. Look at what's coming out of Silicon Valley. Look at what Elon Musk's talking about. And I love Musk. I love him. And what a cheek, really, though, Elon. I mean, you're going to be wiring us all up for the internet. And then what, in 10 years' time or so, you're going to be getting the hell out of here and going to Mars? That's nice. That's real nice. So I'll be going deeper into this kind of stuff tonight on the Kev Baker Show. But there's another story here, just the headline, just to show you that this is the way we're progressing. And we had the mobile company over here in the UK giving us these lanes, all right? And then you've got AT&T over in the US, and they've just had their latest hackathon. And it's focused on enterprise applications of 5G and augmented reality. And there is the way people are going to look when they're walking down this here. And like I say, it's not even going to be the same world that they see round about us. Literally, it's going to be like they live. Literally, they live. Because it's not going to be the real world that they're seeing anymore. It's going to be overlaid with everything that the same AI system is dragging us in towards. So yeah, I'll be getting into more of that. This is quite an interesting article. It goes into some of the medical applications, stuff like this. Really take advantage of the 5G network and the Internet of Things. Whole heap of startup companies. Be getting into that later on as well. But, not all tech works the way it's meant to. And that's where we get into a bit of a funny story coming just next, because as smart as we are, as technologically advanced as we are, sometimes we get it wrong to such a terrible cost. We'll get into that after these short tunes. Anne's going to wait a night shift, so I better say cheerio. How I'm nice like that. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Safe space is getting even weirder. Crazy criminals coming up that'll make you just shake your head and think, yeah, Kev was right. It is idiocracy. How did I not notice this? It's okay. It's okay. That's what the safe space is here for. We've got you covered. Got you covered right here. Finger paints in the corner. There's a buffet as well. I'll be right back. So let's see what the chat room is saying before we see how tech can go bad. Let's see. Riley's going to be back at hour. We'll be here, Riley. Don't you worry about that. I'll scroll up and then I'll come back down the way. You giggling at me, Anne? What are you giggling at? She's always laughing at me. It's terrible. Let's see. Kristen says her iPhone is too smart for her, but watch what it does to you, Kristen. Can have dramatic effects on you, as we found out from Russia today. So Mannerus is worried because he says they're going to need cones to divide the lanes. Can we trust these people with cones? Not in Glasgow. Afraid not. DJB2. Phone zombies. Yep. The Walking Dead, eh? Or shall we call them? Oh, I like this, folks. I like it. Get ready. This is like an epic KBS moment. Should we call these people not the Walking Dead, but the Scrolling Dead? Oh, yeah. Oh, that was good, Anne. That was good. There's jazz hands in the chat room from Jason. We're loving it. Point of privilege. Yep, we're there. Oh, I like it. The Scrolling Dead. That could be the name for a short story, eh? What do you think? Write that one down. Var Don Aguero, as above, so below. Absolutely, dude. Just like when you look into, you know, a microscope and you look at a cell and everything else, and then you can look through a telescope out to the macrocosm of the universe, and you start to see the same patterns, the same shapes, as above, so below. And of course that applies to the esoteric, the occult, everything. It's like one of those laws of the universe that really we don't quite understand the power of, but some people do. The phone path. Yeah, you got the left-hand path, the right-hand path, and now you got the phone path. Yep, 5G, part of the Big Brother plan, Annabelle. But I think we have to call it like big person plan. I wouldn't want to offend anyone out there, right? Anyone who couldn't be a brother, you know, because they're biologically challenged. It's not my fault. It's just society. It's the way it is, brothers and sisters. I can't help it. The lane police. Yes, it'll be called a camera. And then the camera will send a little alert to the phone that you can't take your eyes off. And it'll say, thank you. Do pay 500 crypto credits to pass go. Yeah, I'm going forward into the future now where we've got full cashless society. Rally, thank you. We're all spot on here. We all see it coming. Annabelle, always somebody watching you take a crap and doing tests on it by smart toilet. What a grand future. Yeah, exactly. You know, we're not too far away from going and taking a dump at night. I know, I shouldn't really talk about like toilet activity on the show, but you know me, no filter. So you go for a dump at night, you go and take a shower as well. Then you go to bed, and of course, while you're in the shower and while you're taking your dump, you're being monitored by cameras. They've picked up on your physiological and psychological assessment. They've done all that instantly, you know. And what happens then is the lighting in your room's adjusted to your mood for the day. The bed, the temperature's actually set at the optimum temperature, but there's like a soft subliminal music going on in the background. Maybe some infrasound pumped into the room to stimulate nice, happy, like safe space voices. And then while you're sleeping, not only that, but all the water that came off you in the shower, it's been analysed by sensors as it's gone down the drain. And, like was said in the chat room, that big Richard III, yes, number 2, as it was flushed away, it too was grabbed by some nanobots. They'd done some sampling. And in the morning, your breakfast has been adjusted to, you know, really give you the best nutritional and kind of supplements that you need, dictated to by the waste that came off your body the day before. How cool's that, right? Nothing too creepy about that. No. Mirrors that look back at us. And we'll say, what will I wear today? And, you know, the mirror, you'll just start seeing your clothes changing. No, don't fancy that. Swipe. Don't fancy that. Swipe. Don't fancy that. What about my green t-shirt? I'm sorry, Kevin. That is due for delivery back from the Robo Laundry today. you can choose from these other 2 t-shirts though. Okay then, okay then. And then it all just comes flying out the wardrobe and it's whoosh, right onto you. Too far, too far. And sign in the background is usually a good indication that I need to stop. I'm going way too far, right? So, when all this tech goes wrong, I was talking about before I forget, shut it, Anne. Right? You know, we're geniuses. We can put rovers on Mars, allegedly, just to keep everyone happy. And we are. We've got all this technology, the most advanced technologically that we know of anyway, okay, in our time. But when the science goes wrong, oh, it can come at such a cost. And again, you have to sometimes laugh. And this next story is definitely up there, you know, because we're going to NASA and we know how you all love NASA, right? So you'll get a laugh at this. It says NASA's billion dollar InSight robot is struggling to dig into the surface of Mars and is simply bouncing up and down on the ground. So yeah, $1 billion put into this piece of technology. Absolutely magnificent. It gets up there to do really one thing, start sampling soil and all the rest of it. And just when you get to that sweet spot, you're about to break ground, doink, you realize you haven't put enough pressure behind the drill or the jackhammer or the mining tool that is on it. Now that has to be a dope kind of moment, right? Somebody in the design team is thinking, oh no, no. And somebody's thinking, I told them so. If only, you know, they hadn't like scrimped and scraped and used masking tape. I bloody told them so. And there'll also be people out there thinking, but they don't even go to Mars, Kev. It's somewhere in the desert somewhere. Don't worry about it. It's all fake. But what if? Full sci-fi woo, disclosure, speculation. What if they're knocking on the roof of an underground facility? Didn't think of that, did you? So it says NASA InSight has only dug through 14 inches of the Mars surface. It's designed to reach at least 16 foot to study how heat escapes the interior, and the heat probe is unable to remain stable while digging, and it's bouncing off the ground. The rover has been using a scoop, but cannot use the full strength of its arm. Wah, wah, wah. Imagine it. Imagine it. Like I say, people's entire careers have probably been put into building this thing. And just when you get to the good bit, just when you're about to get all that brilliant data back, doink. Oh, man. Would I have loved to have been a fly in the control room for that moment? I tell you, that must somebody's head's going to roll here, folks. It's going to roll. There it is there. There's the offending piece of equipment. Like I say, though, maybe it's on a roof. Maybe it's like the Mars Defense Force. Maybe they've got a bunker under there. I don't know what's on Mars, folks. I like to get a little sci-fi when it comes to speculating about Mars. I don't know. But it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder if there's a bit of a cover-up going on. Let's go full tinfoil, right? Because this here comes only days after this amazing headline that was in the Telegraph and so many other publications around the world. A NASA chief scientist, he says, we're close to finding and announcing alien life on Mars, but is the world ready? Now, did he speak out of place? Was he meant to not say anything here? And now, because he has said something, we're getting told this ridiculous story because I'm sorry, folks. I don't think the scientists that put together this robot are that stupid. I don't think there would be a problem at all with all the testing that goes on and everything else. And yes, obviously, all those miles away from home on that barren planet, you know, obviously things can go wrong. Dang, how many times does technology in our own house go wrong? So yeah, it can go bad. Or could it be that they're now trying to do some kind of damage control and say, well, we were expecting to get results from this test. However, Now we can't get the results. And say maybe 3 months down the line, this character here, he's going to be taking, gardening leave. He'll be going on an early retirement. You feel me? Because it says here the world is not prepared for the discovery of life on another planet, even though it may only be a couple of years away. NASA chief scientist has warned. Next summer, 2 rovers. Okay, so it's different rovers, but you see where I'm going, though. I know it's speculation at best. At worst, it's just totally made up in my head, okay? But I don't know, it's a gut feeling when I seen this story today. The first thing I thought of was, what? So now, like, just days after saying that they're going to tell us about life and things, now they're telling us that maybe they're not going to be able to do the tests with this other rover. I don't know. I just think it's interesting. What do you think? And of course, NASA, never a straight answer. A lot of people just do not believe anything they say. And I'm not there. I keep an open mind on all of it. Do I think there's a rover on Mars? I do. I do believe they're up there. But I don't know if I'm fully buying in to the story that we're being told here. But of course, folks, as with anything, I don't know. We could be wrong. Who knows? None of us really know apart from NASA, right? And even then, how many of them truly know? Because of compartmentalization and everything else? Probably a handful, 2 or 3 at the tops. I'm going to go make a quick cup of coffee. Is that all right? I'll be 2 minutes. I know it's all right, because it means I'll be staying for my cup of coffee then, right? I forgot. Up beside the buffet in the safe space, we had some Red Bull. Don't need to make a coffee. So I'm back already. Just like that. Maybe I time traveled. Who knows? But here we go. Yeah, so we'll go in and we'll see what people have to say about NASA. Anne, come on, Anne. Come on. Good night, Anne. Have a good day at work. Or night. Everyone in the safe space says, hey, hey, hey. Anne doesn't have an iPhone, so... She can't blame the iPhone if one day she comes home and says, well, Kev, you just don't do it for me anymore. I'll be suing that Android, so I will. I'll be suing them. So then, let's see what people are saying. Smart toilet report to cops if you've eaten an illegal hamburger. Wouldn't surprise me. Let's see what else is happening down here. The cabal sabotaged the Mars rover. Wilcock said so. There you have it. If it came from Wilcock, it has got to be true, right? Right, where's Sid? Yay, I agree. I'm scrolling up. I need to find where I kind of left off, folks. Let's see. Let's see. Scroll up. And so much going on in there. There's like shoes flying around. Michelle, I'm killing her. I tried to be funny. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I know that. Okay, so they're checking to see if you get your daily diet. Yeah. Making sure you've got enough soy in your toilet. That's what it is. They're making sure you're protein full when they make you into Soylent Green, says Tessa. At least he wasn't called Richard. Hashtag the second. See? Richard the second. Please stop. No. Tech can't go horribly wrong. Heck no. Yeah. We've got Annabelle, the $1 billion pogo stick. Poor little soil sampler. Clang, clang. That's right, folks. If you want to support the stream, don't forget we have got super chats here. We've got memberships. And we also have that lovely PayPal link. But if you can't, don't worry about it. And if you can, and only if you can, then that would be much appreciated. Back to the chat room. Kristen, Kev the Shell Baker. Oh, come on. Am I shilling for NASA now? Talking of shilling for NASA. Can be joined by Brendan Drackler tomorrow. The two of us will be putting our NASA hats on and we'll be talking about space and a whole host of other things. Yes, indeedy. They didn't pack it with a hydraulic drill. It makes you wonder, Tessa. It makes you wonder, right? Oh, but we have Tesla hot rod on Mars, right? No, it didn't get to Mars. It went flying out into like deep space. There's a date for it allegedly coming back. And yes, I'm one of these freaks that does believe that his roadster went into space. I know I'm in the minority, but that's okay because we can agree to disagree on the safe space. You know, we don't hurt anyone's feelings in here. The rover needs to stack big rocks on itself, weigh itself down. The hot rod went by the sun. It's a hot ride. Someone is going to be retired. Yep, that's what I think. And the solar panels are wiped clean by Little Green Men Daily. Yeah, I remember seeing that. Rally, please stop. I can't laugh this hard. It hurts. You keep smiling. That's what I like to hear, Rally. You've made my day. Why is always probes with NASA and aliens? Makes you wonder, right? I'll tell you what, Lothar. Lothar's still here and I haven't bored him today. You look at like some of the landings and some of the like, you know, the missions when it comes to Mars. You see your Freemasonic kind of symbology in there, brother. Oh, it's in there, okay. Guess they'll have an excuse to send astronauts to Mars to fix it like they did the Hubble. I'm looking forward to the James Webb telescope going up there. I must admit, that's like going to be the next one on from the Hubble, folks. It's going to be the one that looks at the exoplanets and tells us if there's little green men, or even worse, little people like us up there. Chip, actually, the entire city signed an agreement. The whole city. Oh, they've been up to something somewhere in America. I was watching BT the other day. Two of them, well, the equipment couldn't dig a hole enough for a telegraph pole. But of course, we can do these things on Mars remotely, right? And I see that's the thing. I can play both sides of the argument because I don't know. It says science nerds have no real world experience. A ditch digger would have done better. Be right back, top of the hour. Thank you, Kev Baker. Oh, thank you, Riley. It's great. It's great to see you here. See you in a bit, says Sid to Rally. Broke it on purpose. True story. The blue chickens told Jason. Well, that's it then. If I'd known that. And we got Lisa. And Lisa, I keep on bumping into you in other streams. What's that all about? You following me? We're always on King Frostmare's stream. I like that guy. That's the paranormal channel, dude. I do like that guy. And yeah, hopefully hang out on a stream together sometime soon. Really like him. And we can watch loads of his paranormal stuff that he's got going on. I believe he's going on like a Halloween ghost hunting trip, a bit like our Jason here. So really cool. I love all that kind of stuff. I love that content. That's the kind of thing I watch, you know, that's some downtime. Rally said, yeah, as I've said, both my parents were hired by NASA. I've known 50 years that NASA are not telling us the whole truth. And that's the thing. I think what we have to appreciate, though, is that a lot of what the stuff we do see from NASA is the truth. Because the best way for any agency, any group, you know, to hide things is to convince the public that they're legit by, you know, being truthful a lot of the time. And that way it's harder to tell when they are and they aren't telling the truth. So even then, though, remember, folks, compartmentalization. It's like the police. Not everybody that works for the police is a bad dude and knows the overall agenda of where we're going. Not everyone in Silicon Valley is a bad dude or dudette and knows the full agenda and where they're taking us. Same here with that. With NASA, any big organization, that's how they're able to just, you know, be in the right place, the right time, have the right people in the right roles. And this, Lothar, this is where Lothar's spot on, because then you start to find a lot of the people that do know some of the story, just enough to forward the agenda. They usually hang out in lodges. That's nothing against Freemasons. I know Freemasons. I'm not having a go at them. But those higher up ones, the ones in a position where they can, you know, oil the wheels, turn the gears for the agenda to move forward without anyone around really noticing. Yeah, that's where they all come into that, folks. Big time. So are we ready to get into some funny stuff? Boy, oh boy, have I got a couple of funny ones before I leave you today. And don't forget, I'll be on the Kev Baker show later. I'm going to be talking about MK Joker. Yeah, you can guess what that's going to be all about. Be talking about other things as well, and I'll be opening up the phone lines. And tonight, I'm just going to be chilling out over on TFR. I'm going to save the simulcasts. We may have one tomorrow with Brendan. I'll see if he's up for that. I'm sure he will be. But yeah, I'll be talking about MK Joker. I'll be opening up the phones towards the end of the Kev Baker show, and all of that will be on Truth Frequency Radio from 10 p.m. UK, 2 p.m. on the West Coast, and 5 p.m. on the East Coast. So if you can, and only if you can, please join me for that. And of course, we've got Safe Spaces tomorrow, but don't fear, I've still got the funny stories to come. And we've got the craziest, just the craziest of criminals. And then, well, I don't actually know what it is we've got. Wait till you see the last story of the day. Talk about bizarre. I need you to tell me what the hell's going on. Okay, so I'm going to scroll up here. And Jason was asking about King Frostmare deleting his 48 hour streams. It's to do with the monetization and stuff like that, Jason. That's what it is. You know, it finds if he leaves it up, he has problems and things. So it's really just a live event. And I'm sure I'm kind of trying to parrot what King's Frostmare was saying on one of his streams. I believe that's what it is. So what else have we got going on in here? We need Nano Girl. Oh, absolutely. And Alison King. Is that the same as the Alicia King that's over on my Patreon? If it is, let me know. I got your message. I sent you one back today if it is. But yeah, boy, oh boy, do we need some Nano Girl time. That's a good shout. I've got that to write down. I'll be right back, folks. It's time to get into the dumb criminals. Are they a product of the Techno-abyss? Or were they always just a little bit different? Wow. In the chat room, I like this, and it comes from somebody called Chip. So Chip says, last year, teenage daughter was asked to tell everyone in class what gender she was that day. She told them all that she was a magenta paperclip. I love it. But she was reprimanded for not taking the question serious. Now, that can't be the UK, because in the UK, what they would have done was they would have actually accepted that, because you can about identify as anything you like over here. You really, really, really can. Oh, wow. I like your daughter's thinking, though. We should all be the magenta paperclip just for a day. Okay. I'll get Nano Girl back. I get it. I listen to you, audience. I pick up on your vibe. I get it. I've got the message. All received. Nano was in about moving and stuff like that last time. And, yeah. have got an incoming rally. Thank you so much, but you really didn't need to, especially on today of all days. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you, Rally. I was waiting for Brian there, but there was no message from Brian. Brian, you pesky fool. So yeah, we're back, folks. We're here, and we've got a couple of more stories to take us out before I head on off to the land of make-believe and get ready to join the mothership, the home of the Kev Baker Show, Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. And I hope you were all on the stream last night with myself and Scotty Lopez when we got to play the anthem. Yes, the anthem of TFR. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, please go and check out yesterday's stream because we were playing the DMT remix. Oh, yes. Good fun was had by all. Absolutely brilliant. And of course, don't forget to check out Chris and Cherie Geo over at Beyond the Veil right here on YouTube. They often live stream as well. And of course, they are the twin flame couple behind the home of the Kev Baker Show. Without them, none of this would ever have come into being. So yeah, check out tfrlive.com. So then let's go to some of our crazier criminals. And this one out here definitely caught my fancy. Not sure who it was, but it was definitely somebody from the Discord server. It's turning into exactly what I thought it would do, or that I hoped it would be. Like just an absolute data mine of golden links that we could talk about from now until hundreds of hours of content down the line, be it here, be it TFR. It's absolutely brilliant. And look, costs nothing to get in there. Hang out with Sid, hang out with Jason, hang out with Polly, hang out with Louisa, hang out with Renzo, hang out with Kristen. I can't go through all of the names. You know why? Because I think roundabout, I'm guessing here, ballpark figure, I would say we must have nearly 50 people in there now. Maybe more, maybe more. Everyone with their own ideas, not one argument ever. You know, not much serious going on ever. And that's the way I wanted it. But it's somewhere where we can drop links, we can chill out. And yeah, I'm really, really excited about everything right now. Aren't you excited about KBS? You know, we're going to take this to the next level. And the next goal that we're setting for the channel is 100 members. We only need 22 more to go, and we will unlock the next emoji. Potentially the hairy hands, but we'll see what else comes up along the way, all right? Maybe we just might launch this as an emoji. Pictured a woman 38 wearing a bag of naughty stuff on her hair bow, or as a hair bow is pulled over by a cop for a traffic stop. There is the offending traffic bow. Now, may I just say, I don't want to class this criminal as one of the dumber ones, because I think we have to give at least some credit for, you know, ingenuity, for the way that she kind of went. She obviously thought about this. This was a good attempt, I think. A good attempt to get away with a criminal act, okay? Not glorifying the drug in question, anything like that. Just being my usual inappropriate self and saying at least credit, come on, credit where it's due. You know, maybe not all cops would have spotted that, you know? So, yeah, I'm actually, she's not going into the top 10 for the year. Not a contender in any way, shape, or form. If we have a quick thinking, nice try criminal kind of genre, she would definitely be at the top of the tree, right? So it says here, an Arkansas woman. Can I ask people in America why this is? If it's Arkansas, then why doesn't Scotty Lopez live in Kansas? He lives in Kansas. So if Scotty lives in Kansas, why isn't this place called Arkansas? It's the same spelling, right? What have you done to our English language, you crazy Americans over there? I'm only joking, but yeah, it says here an Arkansas woman. I wonder if she knows Bill. You know, Bill. Creepy Bill. Woman has been arrested after cops found a bag of methamphetamine dressed up as a bow in her hair. Oh, master criminal. I mean, this is like she's like a potential Pablo Escobar here. We're talking about getting somebody as dangerous as, you know, Chapo off the streets in Arkansas. Flipping police officer Is that the name of the place? Please don't tell me it's called Flippin'. Flippin' police officer. Kenneth Looney. Why was he loony? Because he was a bit mad. Pulled over Jessica Bernice Crop. You see, if she didn't have 3 names, she would have got away with this. She would have managed to get away with it. And found the drug-inspired hairpiece on September the 24th. Now, the 38-year-old was initially pulled over because of the outrageously loud top that she's wearing. No, sorry, that was me that made that up. She was pulled over because of an expired registration around 6:40 p.m. Dang, they're really going into the details of this crime, aren't they? Oof. Told you, she's up there with Chapo, folks. Crop told Looney that her driver's license was suspended when asked for ID, or then asked to provide ID. It comes from Baxter Bulletin. So Crop also told the officer she did not have car insurance and didn't know where the registration for the borrowed car was. Now, while at the scene, Looney learned that Crop had 5 valid warrants out for her arrest in 4 Arkansas counties. Dang, girl. This included 4 failure to appear warrants and 1 failure to pay fines warrant. So Looney ordered that Crop step out of the vehicle and intended to place her under arrest. That indeed, folks, is when the hawk-eyed officer noticed something peculiar, or the peculiar-looking bow clipped into her hair. Exhibit A, ladies and gentlemen, I present Exhibit A. So according to the affidavit shared by Baxter Bulletin, Looney found a small bag of naughty bad stuff fashioned like a bow on the side of her head. He said, quote, as I was detaining Miss Crop, I observed what appeared to be a bow in her hair, and the bow appeared to be a small zip-locked bag containing a white crystal-like substance of suspected happy time naughty bad stuff. The baggie had a small rubber band around the middle, giving it a bow shape, and it was attached to a bobby pin. The substance was affixed to the right side of the head, attached to the hair. Very specific. Typical cop. Love it. A photo snapped by authorities shows the pink bow fastened neatly atop the pink-tinted blonde hair. Are you serious? Are you serious? Paul Begley said. I mean, Looney. Damn, is he related to Begley? You have a bow in your hair made of a bag of happy time naughty bad stuff? Nice hair. Crop reportedly cursed and tried to explain away her hair accessory. She says, I didn't know that was there. When did that get there? Imagine her surprise, eh? Someone else put that there and I didn't know what it was. Crop begged not to have the car towed, but Looney was more interested in what other illegal items were tucked away inside the vehicle. Of course, I mean, it's Escobar, right? He needs to get in there. After promising not to tow the car, Crop allowed Looney to search for other hidden items. And in total, Looney found multiple bags of bad stuff and drug paraphernalia that included a vape pen filled with the devil's oil. THC was in there. He had a second vape pen, filled with more devil's oil. And as she cooperated, Looney only charged her with 1 count of drug paraphernalia. What a nice guy. You see, he gave her points off for at least trying something different. That's not the kind of thing that you see every day, right? There are several charges listed under her name, including possession of, yep, you guessed it, with intent to sell or deliver, and driving on a suspended driver's license. So there, ladies and gentlemen, I produce to you funny, not funny because of the seriousness of the substance involved. I get that, not wanting to glorify that. However, definitely a story worthy of the criminal segment on KBS. And now, to take us out today, we need to pull together our collective brain power. And I want you to help me figure out what the hell is going on in this next clip. Because I don't even know how to introduce it. Could we take a watch of this? And we need some music for this first, I think, folks. I think we need something dramatic, actually. Let's see what I've got. Just let's see what's down here now. I'm liking this. Yeah, this fits. Can somebody tell me what's going on here? It would appear to me like these gentlemen are partaking in some strange ancient sport of spitting at each other. Just one more time. Just one more time. I want to know. I want to know what that dude said to him there. What on earth's name can somebody say to you that makes you want to get up in the following way and commence some kind of human spitting battle? What? Remember the question I started off today's show by asking? Whether or not I could change your mind about whether we're living in a really twisted episode of Idiocracy or not. Can I ask you again? Are we living in Idiocracy or not? Well, it's a standoff, folks. This is where it gets tense, look. Never mess with the wee guy. He's coming back for more, look. Oh. They're like human snakes. Oh, sound effects as well. You don't want to be hit by this one. Uh-oh. Yeah, folks, I've absolutely no idea what's going on there, but I'm sure some of you people in the chat room do. Are we any crime scene investigators in there? Tell me what's going on, folks. I'm losing my mind. Yeah, you see, this stuff wouldn't happen in Glasgow. Because the minute you would see somebody, like, going into the action to do that to you, they're getting knocked clean out. Knocked clean out. It's going fists early, I'm afraid. You know? Just saying. You know, somebody in the comments is probably going to watch this and I'll trigger them and I'll say, Baker, you're being culturally inappropriate. Everybody knows that this is like the ancient rite of the master of the spit. Yes. How dare I make fun of this ancient Chinese ritual? I don't know what's going on in this world anymore, folks. Do you? I hope you have enjoyed today's activities that I had laid out for you. Finger painting, crayons, the ball pit. I see the ball pit was overly used today. You crazy cats. And of course, on your way out today, I would like to see everybody raise a big jazz hands. And while you raise the jazz hand, don't forget to use your Neffel thumb to like this video. I would really, really appreciate that. And we have got Webb Smith coming in with a late super chat. Webb Smith, thank you very, very much. And we have an AOC and a traffic cone. AOC and a traffic cone. What would Kev do to AOC with a traffic cone? I'm only joking, folks. I'm only joking. Nobody would get hurt in the making of Kev, AOC, and the traffic cone. I wouldn't hit her with it. I'd maybe make her wear it as a hat. We could both wear it as a hat, maybe. We could share the hat. Now it's just getting silly. That's how I know it's time for me to wrap this up and let you get back about your business until later on, when I hope you will join me over on the Kev Baker Show. Me love you long time if you could. We've got our own chat room over there at tfrlive.com/chat. Now, I will be back on the stream tomorrow, perhaps because we have our floating day off. And I'm finding that Tuesdays during the day, at least the last 2 weeks, have been a good day for me to, recuperate, avoid the much talked about and much feared burnout that can happen to so many people. So perhaps tomorrow off, but watch this space because you know me. I love hanging out with you guys and girls out there. All joking aside, I want to thank you all for being here today. It's been fun. It's been silly. And of course, never forget to, put your phone away when you're walking from the restaurant back to work or to the pub or to see your loved one. And B, if you do have to use your phone, please, please, please stick to the mobile phone lane. Thank you very much. And for another time, I'm out of here. I'm going to love you. I'm going to leave you. I'll see you on the stream tonight. And Brendan Drackler is going to be on with me tomorrow. Potential simulcast. Until later, keep it real. Keep the minds open, but no letting the brain turn to black goo. I really need to find a slicker way of saying that. That's my mission for the night. Until tomorrow, folks. Love yous and leave yous. Yep, thank you, Kenny. Thank you, Tessa, Mr. Stonley, Lisa, Kristen, Jason, Tiffany, and Nanny Granny. Yeah, you do have to do some housework tomorrow. Honestly, that's why I have to take a day off. YouTuber like that, Kev, you need to let people get back to their chores and things, man. Kenny, thank you, brother. Edward, do you know how to top a car? Tap on the brake, stupid. Brilliant. Our top, good to see you in there. And we have got Brian as well. Great seeing you. Sidvich, 420, brother. All the way. All the way. Thumb it up. Share it. Get it out there. Remember, if you want to become a member, all you have to do is head on over to the channel. And you need to do this. Just click on that big shiny join button and what comes up is you get a little video of yours truly. Yep, me, away from the studio. Well, about 2 meters away from the studio. And you can see we've got different offers in there. Please, please, please consider that. But only if you can. And even if you don't, I love you equally long time. We're all happy here. It's a safe space, right? Because, Edward, because there's always at least one of my two permanent haters that stop by any time I do something. They hate me so much that any time I speak, they just have to come and check it out. But you know, haters, I love you. In fact, I love you more than anyone because, well, hey, you need it. Hashtag hug a troll.